Hey, how's it going, guys? My name is Mikhail Greaves. I'm from South Africa and I am a software developer who specializes in UX as well as mobile application development. So, in my career, I have built a few mobile applications. In my past, to name a few, Live Tonight, which was more focused on the events part of apps. So, an app where if you are sitting at home, you're bored on a weekend, what can I do? Open the app, it'll show you places you can go and meet up with your friends. And along all these apps, we ran into a lot of issues that you wouldn't really notice until you are in the industry. So an example would be with our Live Tonight. So there was an app to go out to find events that you could go to, not primarily venues, but events. So you would want to target specific events. So we set out, we built the app, we created a whole layout, found events, added events. It was sorted by distance. So when you open up your app, it'll show you the closest places that were nearest to you so that you could just go up the road. You could get a good description, contact details, you could make a booking, you could navigate to your phone. The issue that we had with that app nonetheless was that we couldn't keep up with the data capture, because you have to understand the concept of an event is the event is on, let's just say, Friday. But what happens is after the event happens on the Friday, that event is no more relative. The statistics of how many people came, how many people went to the event, that'll be useful to the events coordinator or the owners. But to the user itself, you couldn't really, because once the event is completed, that event is now irrelevant. That view or that listing can no longer be viewed on your app. You'd have to create new events and then more events. And as these events kept on happening, you always had to keep up to date with the data. So every time an event is finished, you would have to put up new events and new events. And that was where the things became really tough, because you can build a perfect app, but you will have struggles along the future with trying to put the data together. So we were basically searching on Facebook and finding events and uploading events, uploading events and uploading events. And eventually got to a point where we couldn't keep up with the rate, like every Friday. So we'll upload events, upload events, upload events. And then as it hits, boom, Friday, it's now finished. So we have to restart again on Monday, it's a good model, but the thing is you need to have clients who are willing to put up events themselves. And initially, once it gets up and going running, that will work. But initially, to start off with, that is definitely a road bump that you will experience on the way if you're looking at developing an events app. So then we had to refocus, tilt and shift towards a different approach. So that's when we said, okay, let's focus on venues, because venues is more of a stable data. So once the user goes to the venue and he goes home, he can always come back to that venue. So once you upload a venue, that venue will always remain relevant to the user. So the venues could always just stay on the app, on your listing. But then we had to get a bit smarter on that, because now you wouldn't be filtering by the type of music, because every night it'll be a different type of vibe. It's not always a consistent type of energy in the room. So we had to look at it, tilt and look at it from a different point of view. So that's when we came up with one of our apps called Where My Friends At. One of the aspects that are more relevant to filtering by music or by venue location or by the environment is where are your friends at. So if your friends are down the road at this specific bar, at that point really you don't care what the music is like, you don't really care what the environment is like. If 5 of your best friends are at that venue, you are going to go to that venue. So that is a much more stronger pulling factor than what type of music is playing or what type of environment is happening. The moment you open up your app, it'll tell you, hey, this friend and this friend, this friend are at this bar, this friend and this friend are at that bar. Okay, cool. So now you have to decide, go to this bar or go to that bar. You don't really care about all the other bars because you'd rather go and join your friends. After 6 months, we then realized that, hey, we took this here, we found a partner, we set up a meeting with them, we went and we presented our app to them. The issue was, they asked us, how is this app beneficial to us? So we can bring in clients, we can bring in customers, but are we going to pay you this amount of money just so that you could just bring in a few clients that we can't really measure, can't really tell? So we had to then tilt and shift. We have to provide a service for the client or the restaurant owner. We can't just simply give them app and say, okay, here's a whole lot of people that are going to come use the app. I mean, fair and grateful, people will see the venue in any case, and they'll see their friends are there in any case. So why must they pay for the service? So that's when we realized we needed to adjust the model a bit, and we needed to focus on providing services to the clients. We needed to provide a core service to the actual restaurant owners. And that's when we came up with the app Mahala. So then we tilted and shifted again to Mahala, where this was almost like a contactless restaurant app. So we sat down with the owners, we had a few meetings, and we tried to build an app where we loaded their whole entire menu onto the phone. And say you would be walking down the road, you open up, you'll get a push notification. So this was on a marketing level of based on your geolocation. So as you get close to, let's just say, Salsa Mexican Grill, you'll pick up your location, pop you out the push notification and say, hey, we have the special running at our restaurant. Would you like to join? Here's the QR code. This was perfect. So we built this app, picked up your location, showed you where the restaurant app, showed you the specials, and the moment you approach or walk close to the restaurant, it'll pop up with a push notification as a pulling factor to come and join us at that restaurant. And then once you got the pulling factor, you would then go to the restaurant. The moment you get to the restaurant, you would then get a holder, or you could select your table number. You walk directly in, you select your table number. Once you sit down at the table, no waiters involved, and you just click what table number you're at, the menu will pop up. You could then go ahead and order everything you wanted, and once you click add to order, it will then send the order through a push notification service to the POS system or one manager behind the table. He will then receive this order, prepare everything, put it into their POS system, because at the point we want integrating directly into their POS system. So they will get a push notification on our specific tablet designated to our app. They will then enter in those things into their POS system, provide the food, and then once they were completed, they will then bring the food, deliver it to the client, and the moment the client is happy, he could pay directly from his phone. And then as we were shifting and changing and adapting to the market and seeing how we can change, boom, COVID kicked in. And that's when the restaurants closed, everything closed, and then we were literally at a stop. Like, we had nowhere to go, we couldn't test our app, we couldn't move forward. We don't know how long it was going to last. We're just sitting there. So that's just to mention a few apps. So that's just an idea of, you can have a great idea, but you always have to be adapting to the customer, always looking at their feedback. As much as you think the most perfect idea is out there, you will always run into these bumps. So sometimes it's better to plan and make sure you have a target, that you hit the target, as opposed to simply just going out there and telling yourself, we're working hard, this is going to work out, we're getting closer. Because from experiences, you could work your ass off for 5 to 6 years, and at the end, it could honestly be worthless. Another competition can take you out, the market can change. I mean, fucking COVID can happen. It's just like, it's ridiculous how many things can happen. So then I became head of UX development for a company in South Africa, involved with the gate systems and how to manage and control all your gate systems. And then you also have an app that will allow you to click to open up the gate at any time. So I worked with this company for 2 years, and I learned every process from the front-end development to the back-end development to how do the databases work, how are the markets working, how are the customers. I actually got to realize of what you are thinking is not always the case. You could be so dead on this thing, this design. Clients are going to love it, this is going to work. You give it to the clients, you get the feedback. Trust me, you will be blown away by how you are not always right, and sometimes they actually have better point of views of how to get the app working better. So you also have to realize your market and understand that not everyone knows how to use an app, not everyone knows how to work a system. You have to build it for people who don't know how to use a system at all. You must remember, there are going to be people in their 60s or 70s that might want to use your app. They're not going to know checkboxes, radio buttons are. So you have to cater for the entire market. So I decided my passion is fishing, and so I'm going to tackle a fishing app. And the thing is, you have to always tackle your passion, because that will allow you to do better. And you might not even know what the idea is or what the goal is at the time, but you'll always tilt and shift towards the market needs. So at the point, I know I'm going to be building a fishing app, and it's going to show you your locations, but then that can then grow and grow and grow. You also have to realize that when it comes to mobile apps, first impression is last impression. If you have an application and it crashes the first time, the chances are you're going to uninstall it, you're never going to use it again. So you have to make sure it works 100% the first time. So when clients build it and when they use it, they have a nice user experience and will be willing to come back for more. Since I said I'm going to be building a fishing app, I set my date, I saved up, and after 2 years, I handed in my resignation and I pulled through to Mauritius. So currently I'm in Mauritius. I thought it was like the perfect location to build a fishing app, because I can really embrace the fishing. I go out every second or third day fishing, because trying to build it, you have to be involved in what you are building. Like I always used to get ideas, or people used to come up to me with ideas saying, "Oh man, we should build a insurance company app, an app that you could just claim for your insurance. Whenever something breaks, you take a picture and you process it. It's done." This person, I'll have you know, is busy working at an architectural company building stuff, and then he just had an idea of insurance and thought, "Let me build it." And then on top of that, they about a year later, when a company came out providing the service of taking pictures, scanning it, you could then claim insurance. He came to me and he's like, "Bro, we had the idea, we could have been so millionaires." And I just laugh because it's not that simple. There are a lot of things that you're gonna figure in the process. I mean, like, how do you avoid the fraud in the insurance claim app? People can just break something, take a picture of it. If something is broken, take a picture of it. If someone else's product is there and he's just working, you can take a picture of that broken one. I mean, insurance fraud is really big, and how do you avoid it? And now you're making it more lucrative because there's much more windows open to processing fraud. So that's like one of the issues that's involved, and there are so many more that these people might have spent 5 to 6 to 10 years building before they released it that year, and then you're gonna feel bad saying, "I had this idea last year, we could have been successful this year." Like, no, it's, if you're going to be building an app, do not think within the next year you're going to be successful. It's definitely a 3 to 5 year build up, because you start off with this basic MVP idea and you slowly build based on your customer feedback. It's not like you have this idea, you build it, you give it to your clients, boom, you reach. That's not going to happen. It's a slow growth over 3 to 5 years. I love going fishing, but I hardly have company or people who love it as much as me. And I need to link up with people to go fishing with that I can't find. I know there are Facebook and there are options out there, but there's no fun way in that. I have to go and hunt and find and trust somebody. Is it safe? Is it not safe? So my goal is to build a fishing app that can bring a community together whenever you want to fish. By going fishing every single day and actually spending time in the market, seeing what is wrong, trying to figure out what are the gaps in the market, what are the problems, because in entrepreneurship, you're trying to solve a problem that's currently in the market. And I can't sit by my desk and say, "Okay, these are the issues that are within fishing." So I used to go fishing every day, even when I was still working. Like every weekend, take my notepad down, write down every single thing that I actually thought was a problem. And there were a lot of problems in fishing, and I can try and solve all those problems with an application. Here's a list of few problems that are currently in the market that we will be tackling in this fishing app business. Fishing locations. So I would like to have an app that will allow me to let you know that, okay, here are the locations, they are this distance from you, here's a description about the place, here's images of the place, you can go fishing to all these spots. Next thing was like meeting up with friends. Like it's nice to go fishing, but it's you to have more fun when you go out fishing with friends. So it will be nice to meet new friends. Like these people are going there, you can meet up with new friends, invite your existing friends, like go out as a group, add parties, bring crews together. All of y'all can go out together to enjoy the best experience. It's also a social interaction of meeting new friends, bringing existing friends, getting your friends to get with their friends so we could be friends. A lot of people don't try out these new venues because of a lack of safety. It's not the most safest thing to do to go fishing by yourself and try out a new spot. So another impact you need to think about is safety. It would be nice to have an app so when you go fishing, if anything goes wrong, you have a panic button, it picks up your location, they'll send security right to you. So this will just bring comfort to the user, knowing that you're going to go to a place, but you will be safe and you will have security and backup if ever needed to be. So yeah, security is another issue we can tackle with this app. Another thing is booking a fishing spot. There's also a good example because there are lots of spots by the dams or the rivers, and we always try and leave at like 5 a.m. to get to a spot. But it would be nice if in 2 weeks time I was going to go fishing, I could get a bird's eye view of the location or the venue, pick a spot I wanted to, and then book that spot so that when I do go fishing, I can go directly to that spot. So spot booking was one of them, as well as equipment hiring. I had a car, I never had a baki, so I couldn't take a lot of equipment with me. I couldn't take a gazebo, a braai stand, chairs, fill it up. It would be nice to know, here's a venue that's 20 k's away from me. I can go online, book my spot, here's my spot, and then you can do high equipment. I would like, when I get there, I would like to have a gazebo set up, 2 chairs, a braai stand, I would like a kayak, 2 rods. The morning when you get there at 8 a.m., the moment you rock up at your spot, your gazebo will be set up, your braai stand will be there, your chairs will be laid out. So you could just go there with nothing even, Just jump in your car and just drive there. And the moment you get there, everything is set up. And then on top of it, you don't have to do all the packing at the end of the day. When you leave, you get ready, you just jump in your car, you leave. The venue will sort it all out at a cost, but that benefits you and the venue. The venue, they have all the equipment, they are willing to make more money. Whereas you have to buy the equipment, set it up, probably get a bakkie, get a van to carry everything. You can't go by yourself because you won't be able to set up gazebos and everything by yourself. So these are extra features that we could incorporate into the app to make sure we keep on bringing the customer back, because at the end of the day, you always want to be bringing the customer back. And that's by providing a nice service that they really had a great experience on the app. So it's not just simply book a spot or here's fishing venues. We want to actually build it up so that it caters to every single need, so that the user is as most comfortable as they want to be. Even bait, like we hate the mission of leaving our fishing spot and having to go somewhere to buy fishing bait. Like that's always the worst thing. If you could just be wherever you are at your spot, at the river or the dam, you just simply go on the app, order food, delivered to you. You need some fishing bait, go on the app, order the fishing bait, gets delivered to you. You ran out of hooks, you don't need to have hooks, go on the app, order it, it gets delivered to you. We need to tackle all these problems, but not just tackle them, we have to tackle them in a fun, engaging manner that will keep the customers coming back in a way that they really had fun. So that's when you involve gamification. When you involve gamification, because that will constantly be making the users want to come back again and again and again, because not only do they see or use it as a point of information, but they also had fun using their app. Because you don't want someone to open up the app, find one spot, okay, go to that spot, done, never use the app again. No, you want them to keep on coming back, keep on using the app, have a good experience. So fishing is a very competitive sport. So in a form of gamification, every fisherman thinks he is the best fisherman and they want to prove they are the best fisherman. But currently there's no really a way to prove you are the best fisherman. So we do this in a challenging way of adding a leaderboard and a point system. Every time you catch a fish, you take a picture of that fish, you prove the length of the fish and the size of the fish, and you get given points accordingly. As you get given points accordingly, you climb a leaderboard. As you climb this leaderboard, you receive different badges. And as you receive these different badges, you will then also get prizes. So that's also like a reward to say, okay, you fished hard, you caught all this fish, you climbed the leaderboard, here's prizes, here's a reward for climbing the board. And then as you climb the board, you'll also see where you ranked. Are you the best fisherman? Did you just think you're the best fisherman, but there are better ones out there? Challenge them. And then basically just put a competition involved that will keep people coming back and wanting to beat this board. And now there's like a challenge, like I need to get there, I need to catch as much so I can challenge this guy. And then also to incorporate fishing challenges. So venues can then through the app host like, okay, today we're going to have a fishing competition. Let's see who can catch the biggest fish of the day. Or here's a competition, hunt and destroy, where you catch a fish, they tag the fish, and then everyone needs to try and catch that tagged fish. Or that you can catch a specific type of fish. Or there'll even be, we can even do fun and game ways of who can cast the furthest to sea. All these can be challenges set up by the venues to make your experience there like a really fun and enjoyable experience, so that when you are done at the day, you will be sure to go back to that venue. And yes, that's just a way to keep people coming back, because not only are you finding a fishing place, but now it's fun. You get there, there's these games to partake in. There's people, you're going to challenge them, get your crew to versus their crew, and see who of you guys are better, who can catch a fish. And it also creates nice engagement, because when you go, you just cast the line by yourself, it's fun. But if I go with my 3 friends, and now I see there's 3 other guys there, and we link up on the app, we see, okay, cool, so they want to challenge us, we want to challenge them, okay, let's go. Now it's focused. Now we're not just sitting around putting bait. Now we are at the attention, trying new tricks out, trying to cast different locations, taking walks. Yeah, a fun experience will always keep the user back. It reminds you of your childhood experiences. Like when you were a child, you always used to have fun whenever you used to go out. So that's why you're trying to bring like a fun engagement experience into the app. Not just simply solve a problem, but solve it in a fun manner that will entertain the user and keeping coming and wanting more. So yes, over the next few months, I'm actually going to be recording and providing tutorials of how we go through and build everything, tell you about all the mistakes and the problems that I've learned how we readjust to those, and how we actually build if not even a fishing mobile app. For me, it'll be a fishing mobile app, but for you guys, it'll be how to build a mobile app business from start to scratch. So I will show you how to develop your logo in Adobe Illustrator, how we're going to create banners for social media marketing on Adobe Photoshop, how we are going to be designing our mobile application in Adobe XD, how we are going to be building that front-end mobile application in Ionic Angular. It's a hybrid version, so we can export and build a iOS and an Android version. As well as creating Adobe Premiere Pro, how to create marketing videos in Premiere Pro that look professional, sleek, and nice designs. So yeah, we're going to be going through the whole phase from start to scratch, building everything. In our next video, we're going to be looking at low fidelity designing, taking my basic app or my idea of a phishing app, where we're going to be drawing up basically mock-ups of screens of how the app is going to look, talking a lot about MVP and the importance of MVP. When they say minimal viable product, they mean minimal product, and that's one of my biggest problems. And actually, not just me, a lot of developers and a lot of people out there we have is MVP, because you're trying to build the perfect app for the customer instead of trying to build the most minimal product and then continuously grow on that there to make sure you're not just like throwing all your money into one bucket and boom, did it work? Yes, no, shit, that didn't work. No, it's more like we start off small, we grow until we've nailed the target. And by doing that, you're always growing, knowing this is what your customers need, this is what your customers want. But it's always good to start off at the design point of view, because the design's fast. We can do that quickly in no time, and then we can hand that straight to users and see what they would like if they had an app that worked just like this. So yes, like, subscribe. Check you guys in the next video where we look into the design, and I hope you guys enjoy this introduction video. It's my first time actually recording face to face, so the pressure is on. But yes guys, join the journey. See you guys in the next video. Peace.